Crying face. Good evening, Jack.
Good evening, Connell. Shall we play our new introduction music?
Let's hear it. I haven't heard it yet.
Okay, let's go for it.
World's first.
Now, welcome to the Always Injured Guy podcast with me, Jack Kenny, and Connell Keenan.
Welcome. Dobrodošli.
Falchis Feha. That was just a bit of a joke. Like, we're not going to use that for the introductory music. I was just trying to get a bit of a rise out of you there.
I didn't hear it.
I know, yeah, you couldn't hear, so there's no point in even doing it. It was a G and a G.
Ah, that would be a good song. or Eddie Bravo's one. He's got a jiu-jitsu song too.
Has he?
You never heard that one?
No, not at all.
It's pretty good. He has like a video and came out good, like high production, you know.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that other one. I know some people are embarrassed about it and all that kind of thing, like, but it takes an awful lot to do something like that, I think, you know?
Yeah. It's just jiu-jitsu guys think they're super stoic and cool and everything, and that they have no time for people being creative.
Yeah, unless it's on the mats.
Yeah, unless it's some fucked up fake move on Instagram, then they love it.
Oh yeah. It's funny as well, actually. You know, you see kind of people posting YouTube videos. People who are into jiu-jitsu posting YouTube videos, and it's gas how I've come so far, like, and now I kind of see other people posting jiu-jitsu videos every now and again. And I'm still falling prey to like the bullshit videos still. Do you know what I mean? But like I can still remember ones that I watched the very beginning now that I absolutely laugh at, like, you know.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know. So when you see someone doing a cool move, but that actually wouldn't really work because the guy getting it done to them has made 5 mistakes, and then it wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It would only work if they're like brand new guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I remember the worst one I think I saw was I think they were calling it like a sweep from under side control. So someone has side control on you, and there's like it was like a weird Kimura grip on the hand when the hand is coming over. If you get me.
Like he's about to cross-face your head.
Yeah, and then you try and Kimura his arm and then peel him back, like. But like it's like you have control over their arm and you're trying to move the arm with the arm is like the only part. Like you're trying to move the entire body through the arm, like. Do you know what I mean?
You're flat on your back.
And you're flat on your back, like. And I remember that's like I remember that was the very first video I watched. I'd say it was week 2 of when I started, and I remember going in to try and. I was like trying that, like, and I was trying this thing, and then I like if I go back and look at it now, like it'd be interesting just to see even like the level of athlete that's showing it in the video. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you see that video? Kind of went viral of that mountain guy from the Game of Thrones grappling.
No, I haven't seen him grappling.
Yeah, he's grappling, but like he's doing pretty good. Like he's a brand new guy, but he's had like a couple of buddies train with him and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And people, you just can't get him off of you.
You know? Oh yeah, okay. But have you seen him on his back?
He's so strong. Like even if you have like his arms disconnected, you still can't like.
Of course.
Because he's just you can like open his shoulder, but you can't. Like he's so strong, he just holds your arm there.
Yeah. Was he on his back at all in the roll?
No, it was like I think he was going with a black belt in the video, but the
Okay.
guy was just letting him kind of play,
Yeah.
and like the guy couldn't get out. Like he just once he got to a
Really?
good position, he couldn't get out.
Oh my God.
The
Okay.
guy's like 400 pounds or something crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, but like,
And
do you
just pure muscle, pure.
I know, but for
But
you,
people like
are those like rigid limbs not an advantage? Like,
Sorry?
For you, are those rigid limbs not an advantage?
But this guy's like, he's not just like a bodybuilder off the street. He's like world's strongest man kind of thing, you know, where he's throwing kegs over.
Yeah, of course,
and everything.
Like I remember,
and he knows enough to be dangerous. You know what I mean? Like just enough to be dangerous.
Did you see the video of him against McGregor?
Yeah.
There was one
like he wants to train with Gunnar Nelson and stuff.
Yeah. But I remember there was one little shot to McGregor, like he didn't hit him hard, like, but I know you could see like he starts kind of coming after him after one of those shots to the stomach, like.
Yeah, felt them.
Oh yeah. Like I'll have to watch the video. It's just in my head when someone that big goes to the ground with like only like how long has he been training?
He not barely any, just kind of like knows like the positions. Maybe
okay.
He does.
That's quite a bit to know though.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, he just knows enough to be dangerous. Where put the weight on the guy. Okay, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Put him flat. Okay, easy. You know.
I'd like to see him against like someone who's like a lapel artist.
Yeah, well, that would be a completely different. If there's a gi that can even fit the guy, you know, that's a whole new ball game. This was just, you know,
he'd be wearing a duvet and bed sheets.
Yeah, you know those vlogs. The bodybuilders are always trying to try new stuff and everything.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Cali Muscle who was training jiu-jitsu too. He's like another like bodybuilder. Him and this other guy, Big Boy, were trained in jiu-jitsu too. I don't know. It's good for the sport to help it grow, you know, because those guys have such a big platform audience. Be cool.
Yeah, I must check that out. Actually, I'll have a look at that after this. Actually, so I will for sure. And I'd like to see in the future. I'd like to see him on his back. You know.
Yeah.
I think that
the breathing is harder and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different game, like. So jumping from that into like we may as well jump into the UFC. So there was the did you watch the Levitt fight? There was the first fight in the main card.
Yes, yeah, that was a quick one.
It was very, very quick. It was there was a lot of destruction there.
Yeah, he just kind of went in for that double leg, and then the guy kind of just pulled guard from there instead of defending properly.
But I noticed after he pulled guard and his coach, Levitt's coach, told him to come over to their corner. I noticed that Levitt had a gable grip, I think, around his name is, I'm not forgetting his name now. Wyman, isn't it? Okay, around Wyman.
Matt Willman.
Oh, Wyman. Is it not Wyman? No, Wyman. Or is there an L in there?
Wilman.
Oh, sorry. Wyman or Willman then. He had a gable grip around him. So Willman couldn't escape from the close guard.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I noticed as well at the same time.
But he didn't need to wrap his legs around. He could have put. Did you jump into the Gary Tonin fight? Did you see when Gary had that guillotine, and he kept putting he put his legs on the front of his shins so he couldn't slam him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Self-defense 101.
But I know what you're saying. But I think if you take another look at Levitt, and he's walking across the ring with Willman, I noticed as well. Willman had the close guard, but he did actually try to disengage at one stage. But I noticed when the camera angle changed, to kind of the two of them walking towards, I noticed that Levitt's legs were out squat. So he had him cable gripped and the legs were out squat. So it was almost impossible for Willman to disengage, if you get me.
Ooh.
Now he wrapped up the close guard as he framed for the slam.
Yeah.
But like I think an awful lot of credit is due to Levitt, to be honest. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a spectacular move. And the way he lifted and everything.
Oh yeah, it was insane. Like he nearly swan dived on him. Like it was crazy.
And the way he kind of projected his face, you know, he kind of pushed his arm out so it would, you know, maximum impact. Wasn't coming down on top of him. He was like, "You go down."
Yeah, exactly. And then I don't know if you heard the commentator saying, I think it was John Anik, like his guy's eyes like kind of separated on impact, like, you know, or he went cross-eyed, or even he went cross-eyed anyway, like. And then I saw his eyes; he kind of rolled in the back of his head. Then, like, it was serious.
He's not going to be the same for at least a month.
Oh, jeez.
2, you know.
No. I think getting a bang in the back of the head is far worse than like any concussion you get here or here. Like at least these kind of parts are a little bit harder. Like you know?
Armored. Yeah, back, neck and everything is just, you know, pure.
Yeah.
Nerves and spine and everything.
Oh, stop! Oh man. Yeah. Well, I hope he gets better quick in here. You know, they have all those Regenikines and stem cell implants or whatever you want to call them, like those injections they do over there anyway, so I'm sure he'll probably get the best treatment for that.
And even there at the facility they have all that cold therapy and hot therapy, and they're, you know, even if he stays a few weeks after and has them look after him at that Apex Center or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because they have doctors and all the best guys. And then the next one was Roman Dolidze,
isn't it?
Dolidze.
Yeah, Dolidze. He's from Georgia. And John Allen. Do you know, I think, and is that guy's real name? Because I know Johnny Walker's from Brazil, and he's using that name just for to kind of break into the, I don't know, like into the media or so people know him in the English-speaking countries.
Like a liquor company, right?
Yeah.
It might be, but you know the Gracies are Scottish.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe he has great. You know, European.
Hickson does not look Scottish.
I know. But like the original, like that.
Yeah, you can see it in Henner. Like I think Henner kind of looks like he'd.
Yeah.
Be from that part of the world, like. What was I going to say to you again? Yeah, but Dolidze against John Allen. I thought that was quite, like, I was laughing the entire time. As I said, I sent you a message there, and I said, I was like, I've been given out to, for the entire time I spent at white belt. I knew for sure if I didn't try start passing people's guard and stop going back to footlocks, I wasn't getting a blue belt. Like, do you know? At all, and I was, and I, you know, and it wasn't until I started that game and kind of focusing on that and trying to develop that technique, like, you know, the kind of proper top game or whatever. Like, and when I saw Roman falling back on those footlocks in the middle of an actual real fight, I was just like, all I could hear was my coaches.
But it's positionally, it's good because if you think about it, your head is so far away from damage. You're by the feet, you know.
But when you're on top and you can do damage from the top, let's say, should you like surely it makes, does it not make more sense to kind of develop a game where if someone's grounded, you can pass their guard or even get to half guard and cause damage? Now I'm talking about a fight, like not jiu-jitsu, straight jiu-jitsu. Would it not stand to reason to do that instead of falling back on a footlock or a heel hook where someone can get a break out of that or stand up and you could end up underneath, like?
Yeah. I wrote here that it felt like sparring. This fight felt like sparring to me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because Roman wasn't taking it seriously, to be honest. Yeah. Do you know? I mean, maybe he was taking it seriously, but he was almost too loose.
Yeah, and then Roman got that guillotine, but he was too tired to finish it.
Mm-hmm. You know?
And
another massive thing I noticed as well from Alan's side as well was absolutely no technique. Not never mind technique, of course technique's there, but no instruction during the breaks to give him some sort of technique to kind of in his head to get him to go to try and get off the ground when he was grounded. Because he wasn't doing any, there was no threat from him on the ground, like, because when he was underneath. That's
he
just
was just doing enough to survive.
yeah.
Just kind of moving.
And when you think about like what Dana White likes and what gets him going, like I know that he's not going to be pleased with that.
He's going to be one of the 60 getting.
Oh man, do you think OSP is going to be done as well?
I'd say it's what's his record like, you know?
I haven't got that. I haven't got that on hand right now. Actually, sorry, there's something making noise here. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Well, think about them not getting that gate money from the stadiums and everything. That's got to hurt the bottom line.
Yeah.
I think the UFC is flush with money, but still, they're not known for their charity.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. In fairness to him, now he's been handing out the checks of late. Let it be known, you know. But I know what you're saying. I mean, he's handing out the checks at the moment, like, but then there's going to be a serious cut. Yoel Romero is gone. 44 years of age, lost 4 out of his last 5 fights.
He was up there. He was like top 10 or 5 or something, you know.
I had a serious think about why he's not champion, like, and I think it has to do with ego, to be honest. His brother is a champion, but he's an Olympic boxer. Sorry, his brother's an Olympic boxer. His father was a boxer.
Wow.
And in his head, I reckon he was like, no, I have to win, but using boxing. I have to win using stand up. How can the man with probably the best wrestling in UFC, like
pure explosiveness,
not even use it? He's never used it.
I know. I actually saw him fight in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the UFC.
And did you see any grappling or wrestling from him?
Yeah, he did a little wrestling.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I don't know. I heard some kind of stuff like he's like kind of like he's got a bad neck and everything.
All right. Okay.
Who knows?
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Because I just thought he was trying to win by the method that he want, like, you know, that's the way his family fought.
So method where you want to show that you can punch and everything.
Exactly, like, you know how things like that can get into people's heads. Like, I mean, even when I played when I was playing rugby underage, like here in Carlow, I was like really quick and I could score tries easily, but I got this thing into my head that I wanted to be a playmaker, and I refused. I kept passing the ball, like. I kept trying to do something else, like, do you know what I mean? Instead of just putting the ball in the corner, like, do you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I do think
people at what they're best at, just for ego, like you said.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if someone has a good guard, you want to pass there instead of just foot locking them like you should.
Exactly. Exactly. I think an awful lot of fighters fall prey to that. Like, I want to beat him at his own game.
Yeah.
Do you know? It is interesting when you see that, though, when you see fighters actually being bet at their own game, or being beaten at their own game. But you said you enjoyed the OSP fight. I actually thought that was the OSP Hill fight.
It was a good finish. Hill finished with the combos.
Yeah. I just felt OSP wasn't present.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of guys get really a lot of energy from the crowd, and they're just not the same in that, like, that auditorium, you know?
Okay.
The energy.
You think that really affected him?
I think that really affects a lot of people.
Jeepers. I much prefer that myself. Like, if I could go into competition and it'd be as quiet as that, I would be A1. I just love that. Like when I went in for the first time to the IBJJF Irish Open, like my first time at white belt, I was like, I did not expect crowds, first of all, and then kind of like this kind of stadium kind of seating and everything. I went, here. I was like, this is I'm not, I can't like I don't mind if I'm good at it. Do you know what I mean? If you're good at something, fine. I let everyone see what you're doing. Like, but when I got there, I didn't expect that. I was like, I can't embarrass myself. Do you know? I was like, I just felt that's how I felt. I was
That's
like,
just inexperience.
yeah.
It takes time. It takes
But I can proudly say that I probably had the most boring match there, which is a win in my book.
proudly say.
Yeah. I had him wrapped in my clothes guard for the whole entire fight. Like that was it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah. No, I'm like no one noticed. So that's a win.
OSP attempted a guillotine from standing, and Hill had it looked like an injured leg there.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that at all.
He was babying it.
Okay.
You know, when he was kind of moving his back leg first and then going the kind of stuff.
We're after missing a fight there. We forgot about Mowgli. Mowgli with that knee to the ribs. What's the other guy's name again? Starts with a B.
Gabriel Benitez and Justin James.
Oh, sorry, Justin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was ridiculous. So it was. Did you see that?
A lot of leg kicks.
Yeah, it was a serious amount of leg kicks. So there was
kicking the back leg, which I never really saw before.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. So I was. That was pretty impressive. And I remember, I think it was what's his name? Paul Felder was saying that if one of your legs is not really used to getting kicked, it feels like, whatever your lead leg is, that's the leg that's used to getting kicked. And if you get kicked in the other leg and you're not used to it, it can feel like getting kicked for the first time. Like,
yeah, that's a good observation. It's nice to have the real fighters talking instead of Goldberg.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know much. Who doesn't know that have experience,
Yeah.
But
I'm not being bitchy, right? But at the same time, not to the same degree, but to a certain degree, can the same not be said for Joe Rogan?
Yeah, of course, but he at least has been a long time martial artist,
That's very, very true. It's very, very true. But I'm just talking with regard to literally this specific situation, where we're talking about someone's conditioned leg versus an unconditioned leg. I mean, he's an martial artist. I have huge respect for him, but has he gone through? Has he got conditioned legs? Has he gone through that? Does he practice?
Rogan?
Yeah. Does he spar like?
I don't know. I just see him like kicking the shit out of stuff and like in his private gym. Mm-hmm. When you have $100 million, you don't want to be getting people kicking you in the leg and sparring and all that shit. I don't think so.
Man, if I had $100 million, it'd be more people kicking me in the shin.
Prove it.
Oh man, 100 million? You serious? I'd have my own gym. You'd have like your own coach. If you had 100 million,
you doing some jujitsu, but you wouldn't be like, yeah, let's condition my legs like fucking
Volkanovski,
Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? That's not the most mental thing I've seen. Like him kicking that pole. I've seen there's a compilation on YouTube of Muay Thai kickers. Like you've seen it. They're like
them just kicking trees over and everything.
Oh, but there's a guy who can bend steel. Like, oh no, these guys are kicking steel. Like, serious man. Yeah, not for me now. Not for me. I'd prefer a pint of Guinness now for Friday than that.
That just seems inefficient.
Extremely,
when you can just do your jiu-jitsu and finish the fight quick.
Do you know what's more impressive than that is the video of, I think it's a black belt, and he Kimura grips a baseball bat and snaps it. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
There was a show on a few years ago called like Fight Science or something, and they did some like experiments like that. They had like a crash test dummy, and they would like knee bar it and shit. and break its legs and stuff and measure how much power it took and everything.
Oh my God.
Pretty good.
But you could just do it to a white belt and ask him how he feels.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Just to ask him how he feels when you Kimura his baseball leg.
Yeah. I know, I feel bad for saying that now. I shouldn't have said that.
White belts are people too.
I know, and I'm going to get my ass kicked when I go back to the gym either way, so.
No, they're fine. They need it. They deserve it.
Yeah.
And James finished with knees, right? Swarmed him with knees?
No, Mowgli put him out with a knee to the ribs.
Yeah, Mowgli finished James with a knee.
Yeah, with one knee directly to the solar plexus, like into the ribs, like, and he was turned sideways. I think he had gone for a hook maybe, and it came straight in here, like, and he folded. He absolutely folded to the cage, like, and then it was followed up then with strikes, and the ref stopped it. To be honest, the ref just stopped it when he folded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those
crowd situations can turn those tides, I think. The crowd can be crazy and help people stand up and everything. There's like that third man.
No, I know. I agree with you. It's just the crowd has never done anything for me. That's all I keep thinking of.
Then we have.
What about you? What about you when you're in competition? Do the crowds bother you, or do you mind or care?
I don't even think about that. Like, you're a little embarrassed, of course, if you get choked out in front, but nobody cares really. You think people care, but they don't.
Yeah. Of course.
Like, they're nervous as you are. It's just how you deal with the emotions. Who deals with the emotions better wins. Yeah. Even if you lose.
That's actually kind of funny because my last competition, I really enjoyed the whole thing, and I didn't win any matches. Yeah, I didn't win any matches, and but I didn't really care because I'd finally settled my nerves. Do you know what I mean? At the comp.
You're 100 times better than people who didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
You took. The only way to never get submitted is don't go on the mats.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Yeah, exactly. I remember actually I won't say what comp it was like, but I'll never forget, like, there was a blue belt women's match and one girl jumped guard and the most blood curdling scream you've ever heard in your life, like, and obviously you know what happened. The other girl's leg went underneath. Yeah.
Hyper.
Oh, I don't. She was scraped off the mat and brought off in an ambulance, like. But like, it's still to this day, it just makes me I can't, like, I can't even. Oh, it was a lot. Like, it was a lot, and I was the only person. I think I was like absolutely shocked, and I could tell there was a good few people who were just like, oh yeah, and I was like kind of scarred for a good 30 minutes, like.
Yeah.
And other people just continued on as if everything was grand, like, and I was just, my jaw was on the ground, like,
You ever see like trash cans full of vomit at tournaments and stuff, and you're just walking by and you look in,
Jesus.
It's just,
yeah, it was a good comp though. It was really enjoyable.
More injuries, really.
Yeah.
There's a couple of black eyes and here and there, but. Not too bad. It's pretty safe.
Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely. Also, I think at the same comp, at blue belt, and I think a guy got a footlock, but he turned the knee back in, and he was DQ'd as well. I thought that was really interesting. So just a straight footlock, Achilles pulls it under. But instead of going out the way, he pulls it back in the way and pulls on it. Do you get me? And the ref DQ.
He turns it towards his midline.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I remember
that.
I
always put a little twist on my straight footlocks,
Mm-hmm.
I always get the toes kind of bent and.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
As much twist as I can legally.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm always surprised if I get caught in a footlock because my ankles stretch a serious amount from skateboarding. Like, like a mad amount. Like it feels like a lovely stretch when I get in footlocked. It's like, oh yeah, that's lovely. Do you know what I mean? Go on, more, 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 more. And then I get a click, and then I know after the click, I shouldn't really go any further. Do you know?
Yeah. I have a feeling that toe holds are going to come back in a big way. You know, everybody, not everybody, but it's like the heel hook had a time,
Mm.
and everybody got really good at defending them.
Mm-hmm.
Toe holds are going to come back. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know much about toe holds to be honest. I only would threaten them. I don't know really. I like, I'm just use it to get out of something, but like I wouldn't have a clue what I'm doing to be honest.
It's just like you grab the guy's foot and try to shove it in his bum.
Oh,
It's
sounds
like the quick and dirty.
so it's like a foot oil check.
Yeah. Like you know how when you do a Kimura, you want to like put it to up his back. You
Mm-hmm.
want to bring it to here.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the foot lock is bring it to his bum.
Okay.
If it, you have to like have an entanglement on the legs, but that's the kind of the finish.
Indeed.
All the small stuff is stretching. Stretch to take the slack out of all the toes and everything. So where are we at now? We did the OSP.
OSP. So then Jack Hermanson against Vittori.
Yeah, the architect.
Unbelievable. Oh, yeah, the architect. Yeah, yeah. What's that called again?
Wasn't it Prometheus?
Prometheus. Prometheus. So that's like a prequel to Aliens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he the big bald-headed kind of white alien kind
Just
of
like super muscular. That guy's thick.
super jacked. Yeah, he looks exactly like.
So white. Like he's
Yeah.
whiter than Irish people.
Oh yeah, absolutely, like he was almost luminous to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But absolutely, you're spot on with that. But like with that fight, what happened in the first round is exactly what I thought would happen. But credit where credit is due to Hermanson on the ground.
Defended all the guillotines in the first round and everything.
I don't even think they were guillotines, man. I think that Hermanson was putting his head there to avoid strikes, and he's too good to get guillotined. I don't think that Vittori had ever had a chance of putting on one of those guillotines. That was unbelievable rope-a-dope in half guard from Jack Hermanson. And I would say
he got a few shots though. He got a few ground and pound.
Oh, he did get them in. He did get them in. Sure, he was stunned. He was absolutely stunned. But I think that defense from Hermanson on the ground.
Put his head high up in his armpit, kind of.
High up in his armpit, and then he'd get the guillotine. He'd escape the guillotine, and then there might be a strike, and I know he may have gotten. He was struck once or twice, maybe more. But like he was hiding and coming back and hiding and coming back. It was unbelievable. Like,
And then the Vittori pulled a nice switch.
Yes.
Hermanson took him down.
I think that was in the second or the third. Yeah, and then I think Hermanson took him down.
That's still the
first.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Right. Yeah. No, that switch was unbelievable. Like
then,
when I saw that, that was like a. You know when things click with you when you watch things, when you watch jiu-jitsu, like.
Yeah.
That was a click moment with me. It was like, oh, I didn't even see that before. You know what I mean?
Remember, Conor tried to do it against Khabib, and Khabib saw that shit too many times, and it didn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
It would have been cool, though.
It would have been cool. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. Because I thought he was going to kind of, like, fully wrap his, like crotch lock him and pull him over. But he just did a switch and just pulled his leg out and he couldn't hold on any longer. And then there was the omoplata. Remember that? He just stepped over really quick. Like
that was weak enough, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The omoplata, like it looked like he was going for a triangle initially.
Yeah. Omoplata is a good sweep, but he stayed on top, you know.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there was really any time where I saw Hermanson threatening a sub from his back, to be honest.
And he's supposed to be a jiu-jitsu guy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he's got jiu-jitsu, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he like what is it? Vittori. Vittori. He looked great.
Unbelievable.
I noticed they were just still target.
Yeah,
Nobody was.
yeah.
They weren't doing any like
No, I don't think.
punch
Does it
then. It was
does it
just
do that though? Like when you're built like this, like it's not. It's kind of hard to.
better learn to be.
You got to get
Better
used
learn
to
to
it.
be a moving target, really. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
But
second
he
round,
did well. He fought. He fought. He's Vittori. Who did he fight again? He's fought before. Adesanya. Didn't you say that the other day?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that'll be interesting again. And he didn't knock him out. That went the distance, didn't it?
Can't remember.
I'm pretty sure that went the distance. I don't know if it
Some
was a.
good single leg defense, where he kind of overhooked, kind of started pulling up the overhook and stomping his foot down.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him a bad angle,
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
him wrestle for a single instead of the double,
Yeah.
and then just get your base back, stomp your feet down to the ground.
What was super interesting was at the end of that fight was when Hermanson, when the bell rang at the end, he just let out a roar, and I thought it was just a roar because he thought he lost, like, or whatever, and then he gets up off the ground and he can barely he gets up on one leg and like hobbles off into the corner. I
I think that he looked good in the third round. I think he might have won the third round.
Oh no, he did. He definitely won. Yeah, I think in the corner. That's another thing I wanted to say. Cordero in the corner of Vittori was unbelievable. Like, what a
Yeah,
man to get him
really
pumped and
precise
go out.
instructions,
Yeah,
curve.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The last is his. Like, he really got him pumped up for the last round. You know what I mean? Or I think it was maybe it was the fourth or the fifth. He got him super pumped up. I think after the third, he told him, "You've won the second. You won the first two. You've lost the last one."
yeah.
Yeah,
Real,
so don't
real
let this go. Yeah, and then after the fourth round, then that was when the that kind of passionate instruction was given. Then you got to go out and finish this champ. It's the best. Like you got to give. This is the best 5 minutes you can give. Like
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
thought
the
that was somebody.
fifth were just Vittori rounds.
But Hermanson hiding that leg was insane.
Yeah, nice combos.
Crazy, crazy, like. But man, like, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he got up and like when he got up, he was limping, like, and for the entire fight. He's that hardy that he just wouldn't. He didn't show it to Vittori.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Oh,
like.
those guys are incredible. A lot of them are just doesn't even make sense how tough they are.
Hmm.
I didn't see the undercard. Any highlights?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I will actually just look here really quickly now. Um, I have the UFC app here. Um, 1 second. So we have the prelims. Watch the replay. Okay, so Ilia Topuria against Damon Jackson. Lewis Smolka versus Jose. Oh yeah, Jay Collier against John Vellante. I have to admit, I'm pretty bad for watching it. I won't watch anything below, or I don't watch anything below usually bantamweight or featherweight. I kind of lose interest after below featherweight. There seems to be less knockouts. Now I know Davis and Figueiredo has kind of changed that a little bit even in the flyweights, but I don't know what it is like. I don't know. Like for example, I think personally, I think like welterweight fights is the perfect combination of speed and power, and then middleweights is like just there too.
Yeah. Yeah, the guys you'd be fighting.
No, man, actually, no, not at all. I mean, if I was to do that, I'd have to,
Have
like,
to
for
go
real, for real, I'd have to go down to featherweight, 100%.
5 or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and at the very most lightweight, the very, very most. Like, because I'm walking around at 100, I'm 80 kg. So what's 80 kg in?
In pounds, it's about 178, 79 pounds or something.
Yeah. So I maybe could put on another 5 pounds, like, but that's my maximum. So my maximum weight, walk around weight, would be about 185
For your frame.
for my frame, and then and I was competing at 70 kg, like, for jujitsu. Do you know?
Yeah, it's good to go down a little bit for your how tall you are and everything.
Yeah, I won't be going back down to 70 again though.
You might.
Oh, dude, that was eaten once a day. Like,
What about the Gary Tonin fight? What'd you think of that?
I watched that live, so let me just think. I thought he was very impressive. I was kind of I was a little bit disappointed for him that he didn't get the sub. Um,
Crazy because it was under the chin and everything. Like,
why didn't he go for the Gable grip guillotine?
sorry.
Why didn't he go for the Gable grip guillotine? Why didn't he put and the elbow on the back? Like, no, I didn't see that try. He didn't try that once.
You mean kind of like the face crusher?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. He
He
might have
kept
been trying to save his arms, but I don't know. Because you'd want under the chin more, you'd think. But just great defense. The guy's number 3, so he's seen a lot.
and he trains with Imanari as well.
Yeah.
So that's how there was no like leg locks weren't really an option in that fight. I think that's why he went to the back the most of it like, but the defense was unbelievable like.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But I am disappointed though.
Really happened. Not too much. They were kind of moving around, but Gary Tonin was moving his head more than the UFC guys were.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, you're very. Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. But his stand up is very impressive in the sense that like you don't know what he offers. He could offer nothing, but because of his movement, it looks like he has so many different tools. And he's like if you just look at what he did, he's got one idea and he's going for that.
He's got 7 fights now.
That's impressive. Like, very impressive. I'm very, very happy that Gordon Ryan is staying in jiu-jitsu though.
Did you hear what Coach John Danaher said about that?
Go on.
He said in an interview with Ben Askren that jiu-jitsu needs superstars, if it's supposed to grow. So the guys can make, in the future there would be more prize fights for jiu-jitsu guys, and it needs, if everybody just goes up to MMA, then there'll be no kind of stars.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's the sport that we're doing as well. I mean, I have an interest in watching mixed martial arts. I'm not training mixed martial arts. I'm training jiu-jitsu. So it is good to see the top guys staying where they are and helping this sport to progress by itself instead of, I suppose, it is a bigger paycheck, isn't it? And that's why you would move on.
Yeah. Yeah, much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the right move, because maybe in 10 years they could have big prizes for ADCC I think already has pretty good prizes, but there might be other organizations like the Polaris and.
But for my level, it would be nice. Like I remember, I think it was when I got promoted to blue. I heard something about I went to a competition. Now I'd only one match, and I won it. But I remember hearing that I think it was the adult. So I was in the masters. I went for masters, because of an old man neck, old man back, old man knees. I have a bad knee and a badder knee, and a few badder things as well. But into the old man match, won my old man match, and then I got wind that there was prize money for the winners of each category. And then I didn't go looking for it. Didn't go looking for it at all. Got my medal, and then I asked one of the other lads, what's the story with the prize money? And he started laughing. He goes, we're in the masters. This is the adult section getting the money.
Yeah. Yeah, the United Arab Emirates, like their IBJJF or whatever, they pay for adults.
But not masters.
Not masters, no.
No one wants to see the dad bod.
Stay home, yeah.
Stay home. Even I remember
they pay for them. They pay for you to travel and stuff to tournament.
Yeah, that's good. Like that's very good. There was a stage where I was obviously still under 30 and I was competing in adult, and I remember I was just registering for a competition. I can't remember what competition it was, but there was going to be a few matches, and I asked my coach. I said, "Will I go for the adult as well?" He goes, "Don't like just don't do it. Like don't. And I could see it in him. He's like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna. Okay, I could probably be killed. Okay, all right, okay, I'll stay where I am. I'll stay where I am. Do you know? But there are some absolute killers, like, and I don't think I won. I won my first two matches in ADCC, Nogi, and then there was one fella he's a blue belt now as well, and he's very, very talented. And he's still in the adults, but he's winning in the adults, and he's the guy who beat me in my first competition. A head and arm choke, passed my guard straight away, a head and arm choke. But I lost my point. Forgot what I was even saying there.
We were talking about masters and adults and the coach.
Yeah, master. Yeah, there you go. So, and then I had whatever amount of matches I had in adult after that. I think I might have won one, and I didn't win.
Heavier than younger.
Do you know what? I would agree. Yeah.
What do you think?
No,
I'd rather fight super heavyweights than young guys my weight.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Definitely the heavier guys, a bit of less movement is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like that was my strategy at 70. Like I'd have to grab a hold of them. Do you know, kind of I'm lanky at 70, very quite lanky at 70. So just pull them in and squeeze and hope for the best.
I hear you. So let's talk about, we were talking about skateboarding earlier.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about good cross training for your jiu-jitsu.
I don't think skateboarding is good for everyone's jiu-jitsu though. Like you have to be very light for skateboarding.
No, because it teaches you how to make mistakes.
Yeah, but the mistakes in jiu-jitsu and in skateboarding, there's a little bit of a difference. Just mistakes. If you make a mistake in skateboarding,
the same. Learn from what you did wrong and improve and blah 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 blah.
I'd say that sport caused more damage than rugby did to my lower half of my body.
Because there's nothing but cobblestones in there, and smooth to go on.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
A stick or a pebble.
Yeah.
Flying off the board.
Kick flipping down the cobblestone streets.
Yeah.
Oh no, man, I wouldn't like to be the odd time I get a kind of I'd want to go out on the board, like, but only when it's warm. It's kind of tough. There's a concrete park here now, but I'm too old for concrete. Like, I can't fall in the concrete. What?
Where?
Where? Oh, I thought you were like, why? It is down by the Burren. So you know where Fairgreen is?
No.
The big shopping centre. In the centre of the town.
The centre of the town, the potato market.
No, but like Fairgreen, the huge shopping centre.
Like, no. What's there? What's there?
Tesco.
I think I went to it.
Yeah, I think it's down. It's down from Tesco.
And they have like they have like everything there, food and other shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah. No, when you're here again, so we'll get a bicycle ready for you, and we can bring it down.
On Granny's bike.
On Granny's bike, you can do
any bike.
Tail whips on Granny's bike.
Give it to me, I can do it.
Oh, nice, very nice. Oh, yeah, I forgot that you were always doing bunny hop, and I was like, why are you trying to do bunny? How did you do that stuff?
12 o'clock club. 12 o'clock club. Rock climbing is good.
Oh my god, man! I would say that's the best thing you could do.
I wouldn't say the best.
Are you sure? For grips, like.
For grips, like, but don't get addicted to your grips. You need to have other stuff besides grips. Surfing. I always hear people talk about surfing. I don't know much about surfing myself.
Well, there's a lot of core in there. I don't know enough about it to start going on about
it. Falling. It's good.
Yeah.
Then you're just like immune to it. You're calloused. Your ego's calloused.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I'm kind of used to. I'm used to going backwards at this stage. I've been going backwards and pulling guard for the last 3 years. You know. I'm practicing my takedowns now though. Double legs.
Just ankle picks.
Yeah, they're quite good.
Sweeps.
Backside 50-50s. Imanari rolls.
What about 70-30 guard?
Go on.
I don't know anything about it. I really
What did you just say then? You're putting me in the deep end. I'm trying to think back. Like, I think we did it recently. I'll be murdered for not remembering it.
I heard the Meows talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
The Meow Brothers have a Twitch channel, but I haven't seen them update in a long time.
Yeah, you were addicted to that at one stage.
It was really good because it was like inside their minds. It was just them with
Drilling
and just training.
Draining, yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
And they were interacting with the audience a little bit. You know, they'd be, how do I get out of this? How do I do this? And they were like, okay, do this. They have very efficient jiu-jitsu, very, very efficient.
And yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
Like, I have here, you want to talk about it? The fundamentals according to John Danaher. For the standing, he has 5 things: stance, motion, grip, kazushi, you know, off balancing.
Yeah.
Transitioning to ground.
Mm-hmm.
For the ground bottom, we have pin escapes, guard retention, guard sweeps, half guard sweeps. So he differentiates between guard sweeps and half guard sweeps, and turtle escapes. And for top ground, he has opening closed guard, passing open guard, passing half guard, pin maintenance and transitioning, and turtle breakdown. Pretty interesting list. Just to, you know, new guys have, there's, you know, you're drinking from a fire hose at the beginning, so it's like
absolutely
so knowledge. I think
yeah.
it's good that he broke it down into those kind of 15 things.
It's crazy that there's 15 things, like, you know. I mean, if you said that to someone who's just beginning, like, no, it's only, we have it broken down simply here into 15 things.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much. Yeah. Like, and I even got stuck when you said half guard and you continued on after that. Like, I mean, there's me. I like, never mind the stuff after that. I just, like, I don't have a half guard. You know what I mean?
What are you waiting for?
I need to recover a close guard, and then we can see where we go. But like that position is non-existent for me. Like, I mean,
but you better develop one, because every guy at your school has a good half guard.
I know.
But Aaron is like the half guard master.
But the deep half, we did do deep half. We did deep half for nearly 2 weeks, and I was in love with it. So I was. And I remember I was there was kind of the bigger, the new lads, the bigger new lads. I remember it was working a treat on, you know, and I took someone's back once maybe, but I was in love with it. I love the technique.
Yeah.
But like, I'm such a nonce. Like the next week you show me something, I'm going to forget the one from last week. You know what I mean?
Okay, you know, like, you kind of have to bathe in the techniques and just, you learn through sublimation, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Soak in. They work for your body type, and pick a few things and just fix like your blatant holes. Like, you don't have to have everything perfect, but if you can kind of like fix your major mistakes, you can keep going, you know?
It's easy when you know what your mistakes are.
Yeah, that's what we're done with the cross training.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah,
callous in your ego.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a pretty good list.
It is. We should post that, actually. I'll post that on the page.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through it again?
Go through it again.
Okay, standing. We have stance. Like your wrestling stance, or your kind of just bent over jiu-jitsu guy stance. Motion. You know, your footwork, your grips, getting that inside control. Kazushi, just off balance, off balance. Transitioning to ground, you know, the actual finish. Because it depends. Like when you're in a no-gi, it's kind of good to go to their close guard, because they're not going to be able to like take them down into their close guard, because they're not going to be able to scramble too much. If take them to side control, they might be able to and scramble. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah. I know what you're saying.
And then the guard bottom, ground bottom, excuse me. Pin escapes, your knee on bellies, your mount, back mount, guard retention, guard sweeps, half guard sweeps. Because a lot of people will go to half guard to pass,
Mm-hmm.
They can't pass your open guard. They'll put you in half guard and pass that. Turtle escapes. And for top ground, opening close guard, passing open guard, passing half guard, pin maintenance and transitioning, and turtle breakdown. Spiral rides and attacking the back from the turtle. Pretty good.
I'm having a terrible time stopping. I notice I stop in turtle quite often. Because I was attempting a Granby roll. Like I was doing a Granby roll automatically when I went to turtle before, and I heard some instruction from somewhere. It could have been even off the television, and I heard someone say, "Don't Granby roll from the turtle," and I went, "Oh, don't Granby roll from the turtle." It just like stuck in my head. Like, so now I get to turtle, and I'm like, the only thing I know what it was Granby roll, but then I'm like, oh, no, don't do the Granby roll. But then I get stuck there. Then it's just it's crazy.
It's good if you can do it before turtle. Like when
exactly.
Because when you're really, if he sticks you down, it's going to be harder to get out.
Mm-hmm.
I like to just like hold it good tight control, and then when he tries to break open the turtle, then you get out.
Mm-hmm.
Good if you can stand up from there.
That's a good idea.
Turtle.
Yeah.
He's not going to expect it.
That's very true. That's very true. Turn around and jump guard.
Stand up, then jump guard.
Yeah, the flying triangle. Yeah. Actually, yeah. There's a few things you could do, even if you hold on to your waist. Absolutely. There's that Nick Diaz's there's a Kimura break grip from the waist when they have their hands wrapped around you. Isn't there something like that? I can't remember it now off the top of my head.
You kind of roll like that Kimura trap.
Yes.
There's also one called a Peterson roll. You know that one?
No.
Where you kind of wrap the guy's elbow, like his elbow he's got over your waist, and you roll your legs out. You roll your legs away. Kind of hard to visualize. So you make them roll over you.
Okay.
And then you go on top. Just type in Peterson roll on the YouTube and you'll find it.
Yeah,
it's very popular.
I'm getting feedback here. I can hear my own voice now.
Send your donations.
Send your donations to we should set up a Patreon, actually. No, there is a Patreon, isn't there? There is. We haven't posted anything on it yet. We need to get our fingers out and get
exclusive content is coming to the Patreon, guys. So just
exclusive OnlyFans.
Expensive and exclusive.
Expensive and exclusive.
Show our man boobs.
Yeah, exactly. Showing all the man boobs, and that's definitely for your OnlyFans. Man boobs with technique, bad technique.
Turkish wrestling.
Turkish wrestling. The Irish collar wrestling.
Their hands in each other's pants or something.
Oh my God, Conal. Oh my God.
We need to talk about collar and elbow sometime.
Oh, we do. We should maybe some demonstrations would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Famous Irish style.
Yeah, maybe maybe you could show some of that someday from the gym if you could broadcast from there.
It's crazy because like you could be a black belt in jiu-jitsu and it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. You're kind of because the grips stay the same. Like you could go with a judo guy and might beat him. Because of the meta rules. It's supposed to be good. There's some guy from like that BJJ Globetrotters organization. Some guy, the Irish guy on there is one who put me onto it. I can't think of his name. We should talk about it.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should. But you should definitely show a few techniques, maybe even on Patreon or something would be a good idea. Because I saw that you sent me a seminar, didn't you? There's an Irish guy who teaches it.
Yeah.
And there was quite a bit in that would be useful, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I saw something actually. Maybe we'll finish on this, and then we'll chat offline or when we're not recording then after. But
Patreon.
yeah, Patreon. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The chat continues on Patreon. Um, what did I see? Oh, I follow White Belt Mafia on Facebook, and kind of funny. White Belt Mafia. It doesn't even, anyways. And there was some conversation anyway about some no-gi match, and I saw loads of guys. One guy commented on it. Oh yeah, it's far more realistic in no-gi. And then another guy commented underneath it again. Oh, absolutely. I don't know. It's not. Well, some comment anyway about the gi, and
Keyboard dancers.
yeah, and I just had to comment underneath it. I was like, "Are you guys walking around in spats and rash guards every day?"
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it was a good few kind of positive comments after that. Then there was one guy saying that they actually train one night a week in their clothes.
I saw Keenan Cornelius doing some shit like that.
You think that's bollocks, do you?
No,
I can see your face. You're like, no.
it's not bollocks, but like it's rare that we're going to be fighting that much. Like mid-30s guys. Like our testosterone's gone down a little bit. We can like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's very true.
I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's maybe a younger guy thing.
Okay, okay. I just thought it was interesting though, you know, how some people think that no-gi is more realistic. And then I'm like, realistic for what? Like
when the guys are in MMA, like MMA is not good for self-defense either.
But like, is MMA realistic?
Nobody's wearing shoes. Nobody has a shirt on.
Exactly. These lads, I'd say, are out in the streets, and whenever a fight starts, they must kid off, like, you know what I mean? They strip down to their underpants and get going, like, you know, Randy from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
When he takes off his shirt. Yeah, no, he takes his pants off because his shirt is always off anyway. But when he goes fighting, he takes his pants off. Yeah. So that's probably where that came from.
Yeah. Do you ever watch? There's one called Street Beefs on YouTube.
Street Beef.
Street Beefs. It's just like backyard fighting.
Oh, okay, okay. Like the kind of the stuff you'd see Jorge Masvidal stuff he started off in.
Yeah, but it's like more organized than that. A little more. Like they kind of know what they're doing a little bit. Like it's pretty interesting, just because it's like more realistic, like a street fight would be, you know. Because the most dangerous guys are like the white belts because they don't know anything. You can predict what a jiu-jitsu guy is going to do more than like a brand new guy.
Absolutely.
You know, because you know he's going to do this and he has certain habits.
Mm-hmm.
But unpredictable is like can hurt you more.
I reckon I was the most spazzy white belt that ever set foot on a mat once I started, because I came from rugby and I realized that these men could just absolutely like do whatever. Like, so I started absolutely like I don't remember what I did. Yeah, but I remember absolutely like kind of like going hell for like 90 at them as hard as I could. I was going at these men, and I didn't realize that they were all being so nice to me, and how easy it would be for them to snap me in half. Like I had no clue, like no clue for about I'd say a year and a half, a year I'd say, and then after a year I went, all right.
I'm amazed that people. How fast they learn, because I remember it took me like a couple of weeks to learn how to do a shrimp and any kind of stuff. And I'm not like I had like previous athletic experience, but I was just like so clueless.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
When it came to the floor and everything.
Oh, same. I was the exact same.
I was just like yeah. A vegetable.
I think actually when I did kind of get a bit of like there was familiarity with me and close guard, definitely from the off. I was like, okay, I feel like this is somewhere you could attack from. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously I was into
you can see everything.
Yeah. and I was into Eddie Bravo as well. Still am, but like
everybody goes through it.
Yeah,
no,
but
I have tons of respect for him, but
oh,
for some
absolutely.
reason, just like all the cool names and the image, like everybody has like a phase, or every gym has like an Eddie Bravo guy or something.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that's it. Like when I first started, I was doing rubber guard quite a bit. Like I have flexible enough knees, but my left knee is flexible. And I was just, I just,
and stopped.
oh, like I remember the absolute slagging I got for doing rubber guard. Like, and it was effective on people who didn't know what I was doing. You know what I
It's
mean?
great. It's
Triangles. There's lovely triangles from there. Um, what else? Triangles. I mean, at the time I was trying. I see. I don't even know the positional names anymore. Like, but lovely. There's a lovely armbar in there too. Lovely stuff in there.
I mean, if you go on YouTube, there's 20 hours of people getting smashed with a rubber guard.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But
they just can't do anything and double. Have you seen that one? It's called the sorcerer armbar.
Yes. Yeah.
It's sick. It's super sick. But I only see like blue belts doing it to each other. I don't see it like working on in the black belt level.
That's it. The lads figured it out. Like, well, not figured it out, but they obviously knew. Like, but I remember like our head coach. Like, I tried it on him. Like, and he obviously's letting me put it on. Like, and next thing he just stood up and just like went loose, and I slipped off. Yeah, he didn't even shake me off. I slipped off. Like, and I went, all right, and then I proceeded to get smashed.
Kind of turn your elbows.
Yeah.
Turn your elbows and then just stand up, and they fall right off of you.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Yeah, yeah. How much of a fool I looked. I haven't done it since.
Yeah.
No, that was like
even Gordon Ryan uses it, you know.
Yeah, I'm too round in the belly for it at the moment.
Yeah. It's good because it disorients the other person, you know. And Eddie Bravo has a good system where do this and then do this and then do this. You know, it's very thought out.
Absolutely. It's highly effective, I think, if you're stuck in close guard in an MMA fight. I think the guys who manage to implement it in mixed martial arts, I think it's highly effective there when strikes are involved, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that it was the last CJJ. There was one of the CJJ fights. I can't remember which one it was. And there was a guy using the rubber guard. I believe he was using crackhead control, and he may have finished. What did he finish with? I think he may have finished from that position with something. I can't remember what it is exactly, but that's interesting to kind of, isn't it? It's kind of mad that we see it. You can see it in CJJ, you see it in mixed martial arts, and then there's a certain group in jiu-jitsu who kind of, I'm not going to say sneer at it, but let's say don't use it.
Yeah. But there's so many techniques that aren't used. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
And then they come back in style and then go out of style and come back, and it's like it's such a deep subject.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. You can understand why when one achieves a black belt, the title is professor. Like, I mean, there's like I can't think of anything with this much depth to it. Maybe physics or something, metaphysics or something like that. Like, but the amount to it, and I mean, when you achieve your black belt as well, like you've I mean, you don't know. I'm assuming like the term they use, don't become a move collector.
Yeah.
You know, you're not expected to know everything.
Yeah. And you can have like your whole head blown off by like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much like that.
That happens to me every day.
and more keeps coming. More keeps coming.
Exactly.
You're responsible for judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, sambo.
Mm-hmm.
And the leg locks is like its whole separate martial art.
Absolutely. Completely, yeah.
Russian cowboy.
Russian cowboy.
Right.
No.
Imagine like you're in the close guard and you stand up. They still have the close guard around you, right? And then you put you close guard around their legs with your feet on their belly. And then pop open their legs.
Okay.
They call that a Russian cowboy.
Okay. Strange.
There's so many crazy positions.
Yeah, there are.
Remember that one.
I think the last Polaris was quite interesting for the different names that were being pulled out, and one of the commentators couldn't believe some of the names of the positions, and I didn't even know some of the positional names either, like, you know. So I only have a basic understanding, but it's crazy.
I like the names, and I also think it's funny how people are going back to the Japanese names, because
cool.
Even like judo is like set up where they have like the 67 moves, even though it's a completely different move, it's still following like the same original principles of the 67.
Mm-hmm.
So it might look like something crazy, and it's like, no, it's just a sotogari, you know, because all you're doing is reaping the leg and da 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 da.
Yeah. Oh, sure, I love my ashigarami.
Yeah, it's like leg entanglement or something.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Murio Ashigarami, like the backwards one.
Oh.
Like imagine if you just turn your hips over and like to knee bar position.
Yeah.
You know, that would be like the upside down or backwards leg entanglement.
Mm-hmm. And where do you end up then?
In a knee bar, like with his.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
Do you know how there's like in judo there's a Kodokan in Tokyo? Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like the headquarters for judo, and there's like multiple stories, and you can live there. It's like a university almost.
Oh my God.
It'd be cool if there was like a Kodokan for jiu-jitsu. Like you could go there and study and you know.
Do you know what'd be cooler though? Is that in the Jiu-Jitsu Kodokan, you have to go in, and in each level there's a master, and if you want to get your black belt, you have to beat these masters.
That would be cool, like Game of Death or something.
Yeah, and you can challenge the one master as many times as you want. Well, let's say in a day or whatever. But then if you don't beat him in the day, you have to leave then for the year and come back another day.
Sounds tough.
It does, doesn't it? But like, imagine the absolute animals going around the place, going through that place, like, and then what would we see going into the cage then? You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting. Okay.
I
think Gary Tonin's going to go to the UFC within the year, or like 2 years.
Within the year, no, maybe two. Absolutely 3, like, but a year, no, I don't think so. What he's fighting? Was he fighting a featherweight?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's featherweight. Like, that featherweight
or lightweight.
That featherweight division is insane at the moment. Do you think that he'd survive Volkanovski?
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'd need to see if Volkanovski's. I don't know. We haven't seen his grappling, have we?
He's like a tough cunt. Like he's a rugby guy, you know.
Yeah, he weighed 205 pounds. He played hooker. He was in the front row. Like he's a forward. He's a forward who came down to my weight. Like I would not like. I understand the physics of his body. I know exactly what it's gone through and exactly the way it's been conditioned. And
he played rugby super or not super. What's the
rugby league?
Rugby league is more hardcore. A little bit.
Yeah. And he was in the scrum. Like I know it's not the same scrum as rugby union, but still, like he's a forward. Like he's just a beast. Like I mean, you kick his leg, it's not good. He's gonna laugh at you. Like he is.
I know. I couldn't believe that sport. I couldn't believe it.
Do you think? Here's a big question. Do you think Gary Tonin would beat Ortega?
Yeah.
What? Are you serious? After the last fight against Korean Zombie that we saw?
I mean, I just don't think his jiu-jitsu is the same.
So you think that John Danaher's teaching is better than Henry Gracie's?
Yeah. For sport. It's clearly
who's better for sports jiu-jitsu?
Don Danaher's is better.
Is better for sports jiu-jitsu.
Kenner has a more specialization in the self-defense kind of stuff.
And do you not think that there's more? Which one has more application to the cage?
I think Gary Tonin would take him.
So sports jiu-jitsu is better than self-defense jiu-jitsu.
Lyoto Machida.
Yeah.
Ortega. Not, they haven't. Ortega's got some tremendous submission victories, but he's not on the same level pedigree-wise.
Oh, I really want to see that now. I really want to see that.
I want to see him go with Ryan Hall.
Gary Tonin against Ryan Hall. But did you just say that you think that Gary Tonin would beat Ortega?
Yeah.
So you think Ryan Hall beats Ortega too?
I don't know. That would be a good one. I think so.
Yeah. Really?
It's hard to say. Like, how long has Ryan Hall been in the UFC? Like 2 years?
No, much longer. Much longer.
Really?
Yeah, he's been there quite a while. He's not getting any love. That's what it is. Like he's not a stand and bang. He's the exact opposite. And he finished the last fight. He finished BJ Penn like in
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like and it was in like 10 seconds. It was I think
he
inverted
like the second round, I think.
Was it the second round? I thought he came out and inverted and heel hooked.
They were scrapping a little bit first. Because I thought I remembered that like that too, and then I watched it again.
I need to watch that again then. That's all I could remember. I just thought he went down. Yeah.
But then when you actually watch it, he was picking him apart on the outside and doing like some nice little nasty.
Yeah, he does have good kickboxing, like Ryan Hall does, like.
But Ortega is like much more athletic, just like running all over the place, and he has so much more experience than both of them.
That's it.
He was in the UFC since they had those crazy different colored shorts and everything. Before the uniforms and everything.
It sounds like to me that you're unsure. Are you certain that Gary Tonin
is certain about anything?
But do you think that sports jiu-jitsu is more effective in the cage than self-defense jiu-jitsu? Yeah.
Yeah. Because Gary Tonin is like ADCC experience,
Okay.
And that's like he's seen everything. What about Gary Tonin and Kron Gracie in the UFC?
That'd be a fantastic.
They already fought in ADCC and Kron won.
Oh my God! Okay. But then there's another question for you. Then does Kron beat Ortega? No.
Hell no.
No.
Because Kron doesn't have kickboxing. Kron's kickboxing isn't as like demonstrated as well as Gary has. It might be good. He just hasn't shown it. I don't know.
Jeez, he walked into an awful lot of damage against Cub Swanson though. I didn't enjoy that like at all. And then at one stage he tried to jump guard. Then like
you're gonna get slammed next time.
Oh, stop! You're gonna get levited.
Yeah. In 22 seconds.
22 seconds. Okay, will we sing out our intro? G with the gi.
G with the gi. G with the gi. Forgot the rest.
I don't know the words either, man. Something about Socrates, Plato.
Yeah.
He names out a load of fair play to him.
Looks good on paper, but
the
club not banging the fucking Socrates.
Stoicism.
Yeah. Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
Seneca.
Epictetus.
Plutarch's Lives.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're on the ball now. We know where we're going.
This heartbeat.
Okay, you're starting to my internet is obviously glitching there. So, will we sign off?
Robot voice.
You do have a robot voice. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. All the best. Ciao, Bella.